Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining us today to find out how awesome it is to be an engineer at Synopsys. We do not send the rover to Mars. Oh, wait, our colleagues, Synopsys optical engineers, helped designing the zoom lens on the Perseverance rover. But not me. I write software which is used for designing chips. The ones which go on electronic devices like your phone. I'm Andreea Lazar, a staff research and development engineer at Synopsys, working on a tool called CATS, which is used for designing chips. The chips that enable and drive the new era of smart everything. But how are they created? They are printed by a machine using lithography. A design engineer creates a chip design which contains some shapes, like the letter A here, for example. But how is the lithography machine understanding this design? There is where I come in. I write software that translates this design file to a machine readable format. In reality, a chip design can contain billions of shapes, so the problem becomes complex. I have been working for Synopsys for more than 11 years now in EDA field, the industry which produces software that enables the design and production of faster, smaller, smarter chips without increasing their production cost exponentially. I'm located in Eindhoven, the Netherlands, but I was born and raised in Romania, and I work with people within Synopsys from multiple continents. How does the day of an R&D engineer at Synopsys looks like? I start my day by preparing my three kids for school and daycare. By now we have an efficient morning routine, but every now and then I need to remind myself the best advice I ever received. Never have an argument with a kid younger than 5. We are currently in hybrid working mode, so depending on the day of the week, I go to the office or work from home. There are days with more meeting, brainstorming sessions. There are days with more focused work on designing a new feature or optimizing algorithms, fixing customer issues. Depending on your role in a project, as an R&D engineer, you can be involved in the entire lifetime of a project, or mainly it's in development phase. For example, as an experienced engineer, I'm currently the technical lead for a project. I have overseen the project from the requirements step. I developed a prototype for it, worked closely with the application engineer and quality assurance engineer to validate it and measure its performance. What I love the most about Synopsys is that no matter how senior you are, you still get to code. I will be working on productizing this solution. Seeing the results of the prototype was very rewarding for me, but you don't get that daily. I think finding clarity and uncertainty is the most challenging part of my work. As engineers, we love order, but in real life, there's a lot of uncertainty. So you need to know how to handle it. Like, for example, having technical issues with this presentation today, or finding a solution for a tricky problem, clarifying requirements, fixing customer issues with limited information. This industry takes data security extremely seriously, so you need to be very analytical and think about every little clue you get. Some people might find this frustrating, but happiness comes from solving problems. So you need to find the problems you enjoy solving. Although most of the time I have been the only woman in my team, over the years I had the opportunity to meet and learn several men and women from different teams and departments, and they had inspired me to become a better version of myself. For example, last year I participated in the Synopsys Women in Leadership program. This program was launched in 2017 with an emphasis on bringing greater focus on growing the talents of female leaders. We had monthly peer coaching activities, meeting with Synopsys female leaders, book chats, and TED Talk discussions. We attended internal and external events. But what did this mean for me? I learned how to be more confident in my role, how to set better boundaries, how to get out of my comfort zone while having really meaningful connections and building up good relationships. I'm very grateful for being a graduate of the Synopsys Women in Leadership program. It was an inspiring journey, and I had the privilege to meet a diverse set of smart and driven ladies. Currently, I'm part of Synopsys Custom Design and Manufacturing Group. the Inclusion and Diversity Task Force, I am trying to pay it forward by helping create a community of women in our department in Europe. And outside of Synopsys, I'm trying to make a difference for a driven young lady by being her mentor at Women Tech Mentoring platform. I will now give the floor to Arnold, which I hope he's connected. And thank you for your time. Don't hesitate to reach out to me via Women Tech Mentoring Program or via LinkedIn. Thank you.
Okay, so hello everyone. My name is Mara Carvalho. I'm engineering manager in Synopsys Porto, Portugal. I'm 37 years old, and I joined Synopsys in 2009, a long time ago. When I first joined Synopsys, I joined as a digital designer. And during my first years in Synopsys, I was given an amazing opportunity to grow and to participate in several projects where my expertise was used not only for the RTL development as a digital designer, but also for the architecture definition of those designs. So that was an amazing experience. Through the years, my technical skills have grown a lot, and later on, about 5 years ago, I was given the opportunity to transition to a management position. The transition from a fully technical position to a management position is always full of challenges. When we are technical and when we are engineers, we tend to think that a management position is basically day to day following planning and working on resource allocations and losing all the interesting stuff. Well, yes, Excel became my new BFF when I did this transition, but luckily for me, it was also possible to continue to touch base with my technical skills. I'm still participating in the development of new products, and I'm still a valid contributor when we are doing developments of new products or of new flows. So on my day-to-day, I cannot say I'm only doing engineering, a management role. I'm still doing engineering work, which is amazing. What is also amazing, and one thing that really valued my professional experience was that by transitioning to a management role, I was able to embrace one of the best challenges that I ever have faced in my professional life, which is to actively contribute to the growth and development of my team members. This is actually my favorite part of my job, is to basically be able to empower people and ensure that they are able to grow and to excel in their work. Another part of my day is to contact with people throughout the world. Like Andrea already mentioned, in Synopsys, we are all over the world, and in our day-to-day work, we contact with teams with different cultures and different backgrounds. And the fact that we have this diversity in our teams and in our day-to-day work, I believe brings added value to our work, because we can incorporate different perspectives. And if we have this open mindset to these different perspectives, I believe the end result is much better. So it's also an excellent part of being in Synopsys. And another part of my day-to-day work, and one that I believe is very important as a manager, is to ensure that the team morale is always high. And this was a particular challenge in the past couple of years due to COVID. And that's why I believe it's very important for a manager, whenever there is the opportunity, to work and to invest in team building activities. In my slide, you can see some of the photos of these team building activities. In the last couple of years, we had to go virtual. It was a challenge. We had to come up with ideas of things that we could do online. But still, it was, even though it was the biggest challenge, it was also the most rewarding team building events, because we realized that we were really making a difference in people's day to day, because they were facing a world full of challenges, and giving the people the opportunity to contact with their teammates in a more relaxed environment was good for our mental health. I would also like to talk a little bit briefly about some of the program Synopsys has given me the opportunity to participate in the last years. So Andrea already mentioned the Women in Leadership, for which I also have joined, and in which I had the chance to contact with peers in similar positions to me. And that was very enriching to exchange experiences and to learn from others on how to succeed in our careers. And that was, I believe, a factor of professional development for me. Another program that my colleague Christina will mention later on is the Girls Go Engineering program, in which we give a scholarship to one student in the engineering area. And this program is also amazing because it has put me in contact with a newer generation of engineers. And by being in contact with this newer generation in engineers, to be honest, I was amazed on how active the new generation is and how willing they are to change the world they are. They are very proactive. They want to basically do things that are meaningful. And it is good to see that. It is good to see how the new generation is worried about the world and wants to actively work to change. And that's it from my side. That's more or less what I do on a daily basis. Thank you. Thank you for being here and for hearing me. And I'm not sure if we have our colleagues already managed to join. We
Yeah,
still don't have their videos.
I see that
Yes.
they are still having troubles connecting, so I would say let's just try to have a discussion. Does anybody from the audience have any questions for us? You can just write it in the chat. And until then, so Mara, you have been involved in the Girls Go Engineering. What's your
Yeah.
advice for the newer generation or for your younger self? So if you could give an advice to yourself 10 years ago or
Um,
15.
yes. Well, don't be afraid to speak out, to be honest. I think for some reason, when I started out, I think I had imposter syndrome, and I think I would refrain myself to participate. And to be honest, in the engineering world, it's always okay to participate and to give your opinion, even if you are wrong. You are not going to lose anything. You're just going to gain from the feedback you receive from others. So you should not be afraid to speak out and to give your opinion and to keep an open mind.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. So as long as you give some arguments, then any opinion is really welcome. Well, I see
Exactly.
Christina joined us.
Yes, hello, finally. Sorry, I had some connection issue. I don't know what was happening.
So can you please tell us about yourself and your work at Synopsys?
Okay, so you have my slide already here. Okay, so hello everyone. My name is Christina Pechlivanidou, as it says here. It's a great pleasure to be here with you today. I'm a senior verification engineer at Synopsys, and I'm based in Porto, along with Mara, in Portugal. I have been working here for 5 years and it has been a great experience. I started here at Synopsys as an automation engineer in another team since my background was more focused in software. But then I realized that I wanted to do something more challenging and I thought, why not try in another team? So to explore new paths and get out of my comfort zone. And as I was surrounded by and designers and verification engineers, I started looking for what would be more interesting and more suitable for me. And that is when I decided to move to another team and become a verification engineer. And I really enjoyed this new path. And so, what does a verification engineer do? Being a verification engineer means that we must work closely with the design team to verify their designs, and the verification code is usually implemented with a hardware description language called System Verilog or Verilog. Um, my days here at Synopsys, since I joined the verification team, they usually start with meetings with colleagues from Porto, from India, from Armenia, where our teammates are located.
Um, Hello, everybody. My name is Arnold Okiyo. Um, I work for Synopsys for the last 1.5 years as a IP product and quality release engineer within the CAD team. My group in Synopsys is the Silicon Realization Group, and my BU is HAT, which is Hardware Analytics and Test Group. So I work for the methodology team within this HAT group. I live in Thornbury in South Gloucestershire. It's a rural area, not far from Bristol, west of England, near the Welsh border. Um, I'm a family man. I've got my partner there, as you can see, and I like my travel, my sport, food, movies, music, and my official title at Synopsys is Staff CAD Engineer. We're a team of 3 people based in the UK, but we're expanding our team. So there are 2 people in Bangalore, India, who are going to start in July to join us on our efforts. As you can see, I'm a staunch Arsenal football supporter for my sins. We haven't won any cups for a long time, but I'm still faithful. Thank you. And the next slide. So I just want to give you some background as to my work and what I do in Synopsys. So my average day, I start with just walking in my country park. I'm very lucky it's on my doorstep, so I either ride my bicycle, or if I'm feeling more energetic, I do a walk for about an hour. I have been working remotely since I joined Synopsys, so I haven't met any one of my colleagues, but this hasn't really affected the collaboration, the camaraderie, and the support and the spirit that we have at Synopsys. I find this has not been a hindrance to the way we work and to the team effort. So, like I say, I'm based in Bristol. So my everyday work as a process QA and release flow engineer is to ensure that the IP is verification clean. QA stands for quality analysis. So Synopsys has some industry standard sign-off tools to do the physical verification. And this is to ensure that what we're delivering to our customers is of the highest quality in terms of the design, and we ensure that it's functionally bug-free. So that's my day-to-day work on the basis. And related to that is the release after the quality checking. So like I mentioned, we have a team of 3 people. One of them is solely responsible for the infrastructure. So this means it's the product environment. We have to ensure that we have enough CPU resources and servers in order for the design team to do the implementation. My other colleague is mainly looking after the flow, which is scripting. We try to automate the scripts as much as possible so that it's a repetitive, it's consistent, it's seamless, and one designer can actually do exactly the same as another designer. It's not depending on the location or the individual. So we try to make sure that everything is generic so that when we do the packaging, it all fits in together. So the engagement for methodology engineer is the R&D team who actually hand over the deliverables to us to bundle and package. And part of that iteration is the InDesign QA checks. So we have a constant interloop there, making sure they're clean between R&D and my team. What I have in the side there is SLM InDesign QA are scripts that we put together. We work very closely with the central solutions group in Synopsys so that we're doing apples for apples QA testing before we bundle all these views together, and we put it on what we call the designware, which is the Synopsys IP shelf for customers to go and download and start using. So that's my typical day: technical reviews and cross-functional engagement with the different teams who are responsible for the IP at the end and the delivery to the customer. Um, as I think you heard about my role and my engagement with the different Synopsys teams and my area of work. What I'd like to say is, at the moment, as far as I&D is concerned, I am the European champion for Silicon Realization Group for I&D. I'm part of the steering committee to decide our drive and motivation for I&D issues or initiation objectives within Synopsys. Hence, I'm at this meeting. I am also a mentor for Women Tech. So please reach out, get in touch with me via LinkedIn, and let's continue the conversation. And I'm very honored and humbled to be part of this discussion. Thank you, everybody. So over to you, Christina.
I will start again from the moment that I think was the last one, if it's okay with everyone. I don't know what was the last one, so sorry. I think I was talking about my tasks, my daily life at Synopsys, and what do I do as a verification engineer. So as I was saying, um, me as being as a senior verification engineer, it means that I am responsible for several projects and I have to interact with people from other teams, usually the design team or the analog team. I must be organized. I must keep track of all the new requests that we get, discuss with the design teams to ensure that all the features are verified and all the open items are solved. What are the most fun tasks for me are the debug process, because I really enjoy finding solutions to problems. And I also enjoy to create new test cases to cover new features that we have. What makes me grow at Synopsys usually are the struggles that we encounter with every difficulty that we have in the code and every limitation and pressure. I gain more knowledge. So I believe it's very important to study verification methodologies and have a solid knowledge about the design. Also improve our debug and programming skills and work closely with the design engineers and share knowledge with them. And always, of course, strive for the high quality and for improvement, for continuous improvement in our work. I don't know if Mara already spoke about the initiatives that we have, like the Girls Go Engineering.
I just mentioned it briefly, so you can go on and explain it a little bit better.
Okay, so we have some important initiatives, like I said, like the Girls Go Engineering. So this program is offering a scholarship for one academic year to a female engineering student. I was involved in this project with Mara and some other colleagues of ours. We had to select a student based on their performance, on their letters of motivation, their motivational letters, their grades, and then we made some personal interviews to them. I really enjoyed that because we got the chance to meet new young female engineers, that they had great ideas and dreams about life, and we could encourage them to pursue a career in our field. So it was really nice to encourage them to pursue this career and to see how they think, and they could talk to us about their dreams. They are really motivated. They really have great hopes for the future. um, and I would also like to say that here at Synopsys, it's not only about work. We like to cultivate a friendly environment and organize fun activities. So before the pandemic, we used to have some off-site events where we would go for small daily trips, do team building activities. But then the pandemic came, so we had to adjust, and we had to make some team building activities that we could do from Teams or from Zoom with our verification colleagues, my verification colleagues, which really helped to keep the team spirits up. And here are some pictures from our team building events outside. And at the office, like if you see those ones with the masks, they are from the office. And I think that's all from me. So thank you for your attention. Sorry for the problems with the connection. Thank you to the Women in Tech for inviting us and organizing this. That's it.
Yes, thank you, Christina. I think Fabienne had issues connecting and she joined us for a bit, but she's not able to speak. So I think that this is all from our side. I hope you enjoyed our messy presentation, but yeah, we like solving problems.
Thank you,
And
Andrea.
yeah, we hope we inspired you to keep your tech career and continue the work that you are doing.
And feel free to reach us here in the event or through our
Yes.
LinkedIn's.
And I also forgot to say that we are participating in the mentorship program. I don't know if you said this, Mara, also.
I think Andrea mentioned it.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Yes.
So all
So
of us are mentors. You can search for us. You can use the keyword synopsis if you want to find all of us.
Thank you all for joining.
thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.
Bye.